you doing today, boys? We're doing great, just crushing them.
Are you sure you got some?
Yeah, I don't think he's too big though.
So we just set up. I was just about to do my intro and paint a picture for you guys of what exactly we are doing today. But Max, how deep of water are you pulling a fish out of right now?
283 feet.
Unreal. So we are lake trout fishing on Lake Superior, the Apostle Islands today. We are in 283 foot of water.
And I got a broken reel. My winder quit.
Line broke.
So I'm using my finger. See him?
Yeah, you want me to help him? Oh, that's not a bad one at all.
First Laker of the day.
First Laker.
Got him on that stinger.
So this isn't necessarily food. That might be its air bladder.
Yeah, his air bladder. You bring him up from that deep. I thought it was a bigger one, so I kind of horsed him the first 50 feet.
Well, folks, as we're dealing with this lake trout, we have a beginner's mistake. Don't burn your bibs like I just did. Yeah, there we go. Let's get some light on this mistake. That is not what you want right there. So let me paint you guys a better picture exactly of what we are doing today. Myself and my buddy Pat here from Max Custom Rods. These are the rods we're actually using today. Did you just make this lake trout rod?
I just made that 2 days ago just for you, little buddy.
Oh, it warms my heart. So we are, like I said, I think 15, 16 miles out into the... Whoa!
Are you kidding me?
You missed one. So we're on some pretty special water right now. We're trophy hunting. We're on the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore up here in... we're not in the UP. We're in northern Wisconsin. We're just near Ashland. That's the big town around here. And we're set up in 283 foot of water. We're not going for the little rats that we just caught. We're going for pretty much one fish. This is legendary waters for huge lake trout. Some 30, even a 40-pound class fish is not completely out of the question, is it?
Not at all. It's my first time fishing out here, but I've seen some giant fish caught out here.
I'm very new to lake trout fishing. I only did it once last year on Lake Simcoe with my buddy Sebastian, but that was much different. We were in 30 foot of water. We were sight fishing these fish, and those lake trout were primarily feeding on goby. These lake trout are down on the bottom, and they're eating smelt, whitefish. It's pretty unheard of to be ice fishing in anything over 100 feet of water, much less 300 feet, especially anything other than lake trout. Typically how people fish these lakers, they call them bobbing. It's a weird hoop. What's the line they use? What's it made out of?
They use like a wire-coated line.
Yeah,
usually. And then they put, 20, 25-pound leader usually. No give at all, no stretch, and you can usually get a better hook set than a rod usually.
But like I said, we're not out here looking for 5-pounders. We're looking for one bite. If I can catch a laker over 15 pounds, that would be awesome, but the potential is here to get a fish double that size, which is really mind-blowing, and that's why you come out here. That ain't good.
Nope, ran out of juice.
Someone's got to have a good day, Pat. It wasn't us. That's what they were waiting for. So since we have no more propane, all the bait shops in town close at, I think, around 6 o'clock, and we got a good rip in anyways. It's probably an hour and a half before sunset, and we are heading in. There's no more lake trout on the day. There she goes.
Listen to her purr. Like a kitten.
Alright, so I hate doing this. I hate breaking up the flow of the video, but that first day really did not go as planned. Essentially, it was a day of lost fish and lost opportunities. I believe we lost around 15 lake trout this day, and a couple of them were really big. Nobody wants to see Mags and I lose 15 fish, so we're just going to skip on to day 2, and we did hook up right when we got out there. You don't look happy.
Oh, we got a dink. Super dink. Ooh, look at that toad.
Wow.
What we're looking for.
Again, it was a very small one. We went a couple more hours after that with no bites until we had some chaos break. Is he good?
I should reel your line up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so real quick. I will explain this screen grab in a second here. No way.
Yep. Unbelievable.
I'm sure you can see in the emotion of our faces, but this fish loss was especially demoralizing. The trip had been going so poorly, and I got a great look at the fish as it was only 30 to 35 feet under the ice, and it was a trophy. It was a 20, 25-pound lake trout. Nevertheless, we stayed motivated. We knew we still had some more days of fishing, and we headed out on the third day with really high spirits. All right, it's day 3 out here in the Apostle Islands. The first 2 days were pretty uneventful. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to dwell on it. But it is day 3, and Mags is hooked up.
He's right there.
You see him?
Decent fish.
You see him under the ice.
There he goes.
How big would you say?
I don't really know. Not huge, but he's decent.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Maybe 6-7 pounds, maybe.
We're on some really clear, beautiful glare ice out here. And we drilled 3 holes just because it's so much easier to get these trout up through 3 than 1 hole. There we go, bud.
Nice, probably 7-8 pounds.
Not a bad one.
Been losing them all. It's nice to get one up.
We made a switch since we're fishing in 200, 250, almost 300 foot of water. And a lot of these spots we've been trying, we've been using extremely heavy baits. They call these baits beetles. These beetles are just pieces of flat lead. We put stingers on here. You could put some whitefish, smelt, whatever bait you want to put on. We're in a much larger group of fishermen today. A lot of these guys are locals and they're using really small baits. You gonna put that fish back?
Yeah.
Went to a 1/2 ounce and that was the deal for this fish. Thanks for showing us there's life down there. Oh, that's so cool.
Boom.
So these beetles we're using are very interesting little baits. As you can see, they're just a flat piece of lead, but they have 2 little prongs sticking out, and that's to keep your bait on there. We're not imparting too much action on the bait, just bobbing it a little bit. He's got a couple trailer hooks on there, but that fish followed him up. Hopefully, that's a sign of really good things to come. It's just about 9:45 this morning. Been set up for about a 1/2 hour, but our spread, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 other shacks out here. Each shack has like 1 or 2 different guys, but this, what you're seeing right here, since we're out on the Apostle Islands, this is in fact the outer island. It took us a good 35-40 minutes to get out here this morning. We're with a couple locals, like I said, and they let us know that you can only get out here every 7 or 8 years because the ice conditions are very rarely thick enough to be able to get out here. So it's a beautiful day out here, and hopefully that's a sign of really good things to come. Okay, well, I just put the camera down, just put it on the tripod. My bait was sitting here for forever. Just started jigging my spoon. We are hooked up! This is not that big of a fish, but it is so fun to fight on these rods, and it is so good to get hooked up. I can't explain. You guys haven't seen much in the last couple of days because it's been a grinder. I'm just king of the babies, dude. Here's my second Laker from the Apostle Islands. This is 100% not what we are out here for. This is a dink. This is a tiny trout. But we're going to get this guy unhooked. Let's see if this guy will go back down. His air bladder isn't too bad. I think he'll go. Nope, maybe. Maybe. There he goes. So that fish, Mag's using what's called a beetle. I went to a tiny little spoon with a big chunk of whitefish on there. He must have been staring at it for a while. My rod was just sitting there while I was filming Pat. Took 2 twitches and the fish hammered it. We just need one 10 times bigger.
Yep.
Big?
It's big.
Big. Want me to reel up?
If you can. I was mid-bite of my granola bar, dude. I was enjoying that.
What I like to
set
hear.
The hook and the rod flew out of my hand.
This is just 5 minutes after I released mine. We're in a bite window, dude.
Look at that head shake. It's a good fish.
Yeah, we're in a bite window. The other day we got 10 plus bites in 30 minutes. This might be it today too.
Will you pull my deucer out of the hole there?
Yeah. What's the mark you wanted? What's your biggest trout through the ice?
Only about 8 to 10 pounds.
Pat is actually a guide out on the legendary Standard Rock. He's caught, I mean, every trip you catch 25 pounders, right?
Yeah.
25, 30.
The biggest is 35 out there.
That's your biggest open water trout?
Yep.
But you've never gotten a big one through the ice.
This could be the one. It's a nice fish. He did.
Oh, I see him. He's right there.
Is it nice?
I can't see enough. Oh, dude, that's a nice one.
He inhaled that. Oh yeah, it's a nice one.
Oh shit, dude.
Come on. He's heavy.
Get his head up that hole. There you go, bud!
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
That's a nice one. That's more like it.
Ugh.
Hell yes.
I barely hooked him.
Big trout, dude. Nice.
That's what we're looking for. Heart's pounding.
That's a really long fish.
Yeah, it's long.
So that's a lean, right?
Yep.
So there's two different subspecies of trout, like he was saying. There's leans and there's fats. The leans kind of top out at, what would you say, 20, 25?
Yeah, they get bigger.
The fats can get really, really big.
My rod's 42 inches, so this is about a 36-inch fish.
36?
Yep.
What do you got? We got one.
Oh, nice fish. Hell yeah. Oops, there goes my freaking granola bar.
What'd you say, like 14, 15 pounds?
13 to 15, 13, 14.
Yeah, that's a... He's about 36.
34, 35.
So you catch them twice as big as that out here.
Yeah, you'll get them, you know, well, yeah.
You can.
You will.
It's
yeah,
possible.
I mean, you'll get them in the low 40s. There's bigger than that around, too.
There's bigger than 40s.
Yeah.
Alright, let's,
Yeah, beautiful fish.
Let's pop out and get a picture.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give him a drink. Center her home.
Alright, that is a little more like it. What time is it?
It is 10:39.
Still got plenty of daylight to go.
Looking for one double that size.
A little bit of lull in the action now. We had that big flurry, but it's been a good 20 minutes. We haven't had any more bites. I don't think I've stressed enough how different this form of ice fishing is to any other type of ice fishing I've ever done. Not only are we in 200 feet, but the other thing is that I'm not using any sort of flash or sonar, anything like that, and that's mainly because we have such intensely strong current here. That's why we're using such heavy jigs before, like 2 to 3 ounces, because we want to be down below, but it doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. I mean, as you can see right here, my line is just completely sideways. My jig is on really close to the bottom right now, 208 feet, but I think it's about 40 to 50 yards to the right of me where that current's pulling. It's a lot. To be able to fish out here, you need big spools. These are 2,500 spools, but I mean, you might need 250 feet just to get to the bottom. So that one long clip you guys saw of 3 fish catches, that was, what was that, hours ago?
Mm-hmm.
These fish seemed to really bite in windows, and my bait was on the bottom right there, and I was just barely bobbing it, and it was the weirdest bite of my life. It just kind of felt mushy. Just started reeling and caught another lake trout, man. But again, unfortunately, this is not one of the giants that we were after. But I will take any bite I can get, especially in such an epic location like the Apostle Islands.
What is it, a whitefish?
It might be a whitefish. I can't tell. Might be a huge whitefish. No, but that's a lake trout. I was airblast going to carry him up. Oh, no. He wanted to... Come on. It's so cool seeing him under the ice like that. Okay. Well, I seem to come to trophy waters and only seem to catch small fish, but that's okay. Another beautiful lake trout from Lake Superior. Don't think her air bladder's too bad. She should go right down, and she did. Oh yeah, bud. Keep saying this, but...
Is that your biggest lake trout?
No, it is not, unfortunately. Caught some nice ones at Lake Simcoe last year, but this is just way different. It is, I think, the opposite end of the spectrum that you could get for lake trout fishing. Last year, I was fishing in like 25 to 30 foot, sight fishing them. This time, I'm in over 200, and I can barely feel my lure. Mags, what are you?
I am hooked up. Finally.
We got all the lights out. Hopefully, we'll get a good view of this fish under the ice.
Decent fish, eh? I don't know, not really.
Another squeaker.
Here he is.
Just another one.
Perfect dive.
Perfect dive, huh?
No.
You can see that current, it just pushes them. Alright, snowmobiles are on. We might have our last fish of the trip. It's just another small one. Didn't exactly jump to turn the camera on for it, but I think it is going to be my final lake trout from the Apostle Islands. Wow. Dude, he's got worms on him.
That's a fat.
He's making some noises too. So that was the sound of his air bladder, I guess. So 2 things I want to highlight with this trout here. Number 1, the whole idea of this trip is we were trying to target a subspecies of lake trout called, what was the specific name of it?
Siskoet.
Siskoet, or the nickname of a fat. This fish has some weird worms on it. If you guys know what those are, definitely let me know. But the other thing, this unfortunate mark in its back, pretty sure that is a net, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of commercial fishing for whitefish and lake trout too up here, right?
Yep.
This is a fish that swam in the net, but unfortunately he got out and survived, so I think this is my first fat subspecies of lake trout. We're gonna let him go down to the depths. Look at him swim down. That's so awesome. So this is how I guess we're gonna end things. The small lake trout and a really, really nasty knot.
Thanks for watching, folks.